Okay, so this is just a report to just say that sometimes things are just really difficult and you have to keep pressing through. So, dad's in hospice, probably has 6 months or left to live. All kinds of difficult issues going on with all the medical, etc., where he's going to live because his home was flooded as a result of his situation. Then we've had all this extra rain and flooding in our area. And in addition to that, I went out, I was working on different projects and preparing for going to graduate school. And I came home and after going and getting different supplies for a different project, and I come home and my entire basement apartment is flooded, 8 inches of a flood. That means my sofas, my lazy boy chairs, any of my vintage furniture, bookshelves that had, were filled with books on the bottom shelf and the second shelf, all the way up to 8 inches. All of those things are ruined. Okay, my mattress that was on a box spring and then the mattress on top of it, ruined. So the flooding is a serious issue, and it just goes to show that when you have appropriate measures in place, and here's the difference. Did my dad have appropriate insurance at where he is in his trailer? The answer is no. Did he plan for a rainy day? And the answer is no. So then he's displaced from his home and he doesn't have the appropriate measures in place in order to advocate for himself, which then he puts all that pressure on other people to figure out how to solve his problems, which is also just not fun, okay? In comparison, my mom owns a house. It's beautiful. I rent an apartment in the basement, and bottom line, my mom has all the appropriate insurances. So when this happened, she could put up a claim in and all of my furniture, all of my belongings will be replaced. And in addition to that, I will be put in a hotel in the interim until all of these damages of all the water damage and possible mold and everything else, which all those things need to be removed from my apartment so that new things can come in after everything has been dried out with wet vacs and fans and everything else. So what I'm getting at is when you have a plan in place and you have the appropriate measures set up to account for that with the appropriate insurance, it doesn't mean that it still isn't a hassle, and it doesn't mean that it's still not an inconvenience. It is an inconvenience because I start graduate school tonight and I'm displaced and I'm be working out of a hotel room, and this is what it is, okay? But the measures were in place versus my dad, who didn't make any plans, and then because he didn't plan appropriately, then he acts like a Tasmanian devil and expects everybody else to, mess up their plans to try to help him. So it's just a way of thinking. The question is, are you a planner? Do you have appropriate measures in place for things like floods, or do you not?